Hey, welcome back to the Nets, your one stop channel for games, predictions, scores, analysis, and transfers. Brilliant weekend of cricket and football, but let's stay on cricket today. Before we go anywhere, please to hit the like button, please to subscribe to the channel. Give me a shout out if you can. If you like it, please to give me a shout out as well. So, heading back to the games, CSK versus DC. Shikhar Dhawan's 100. Again, we had written him off a few weeks back with the way he had played against Mumbai, but he showed yet again that his experience counts. He managed to score 100, hung in there, scored, accelerated when needed, and built the team around him. Um, Amazing cameo in the end by Akshar. I won't go way into details with this because these were the two highlights of the Indian batsman who played for DC. Shreyas Iyer did what he has been doing, has been consistent, plays these one-off cameos. But one thing that I would say about CSK is they don't deserve to win, even if they manage to scrape in through to the last four, and that is because the other teams are misperforming as much as they are. I don't think CSK has it in them to keep up with the other three who are pretty much getting away with the scores and getting away with the table. The reason I say that is CSK have failed to convert the ones into twos and twos into threes like all the other teams have. You can see that age is catching up to them. Shane Watson might win you a game here and there, but he is not as consistent. And as the pattern of this IPL has been so far, it's a team that has invested in the Indian youth, or the Indians that are contributing in this edition of IPL are the teams that are actually going up. With that being said, this has been the first time that I've actually seen Dhoni being looking for answers. He has looked out of sorts. So for some reason, he decided to bring Kedar Jadhav back in. Now I do not know if Kedar Jadhav, if he bats that deep down, if he even gets his batting, because the top order is trying to use up at least 15 or 16 overs just to get to us which can score at a rate of 7 maybe. So Kedar Jadhav doesn't bowl anymore. His fielding, he was never really known for his fielding, and he doesn't get a chance to bat. So is CSK missing a trick by using him somewhere and not even utilizing him? Don't really know. But IPL being the biggest league and the biggest entertainment right now, Dhoni, Watson, and Raidu, all three of them don't really seem fit to actually, take it up a level. I think they are firing all cylinders right now, and this is the best that they can offer. They have been dropping catches as well, which is unlike the traditional CSK that we are known to see. Moving to the next game, Rajasthan Royals and Hyderabad Sunrisers. First sight of Lockie Ferguson, it was amazing. It was like 8 games on the bench, and he comes back and does what he did. 3 for 15 in his first 4 overs. Brilliant bowling. What I would like to say about this Rajasthan Royals was the change in captaincy helped them immensely. You started seeing players getting their regular slots, which Dinesh Karthik wasn't doing. Shubman Gill and Tripathi opened. Both of them gave a decent start. Then you got a chance to see Dinesh Karthik coming in lower down the order and does what he does. So maybe the not the pressure of captaincy was catching up to him. The first time that he actually got a chance to bat without being the captain, he actually showed what he can do. The slogs that go over the square leg fence, or his slog sweeps that go, he was in control of his innings, and it looked 163. It wasn't a huge score, but it was still something that was unlikely at the stage that they were in at one point of a time. But Russell flopped again, and I there's a reason why the West Indies 11 didn't even pick him in the starting 22 for the upcoming series that they have. So I wasn't really surprised. in the Hyderabad Sunrisers innings, Bairstow and Williamson opened. Williamson with a niggle wasn't able to run, but he still managed to do what he does. And there's just some brilliance with the way he bats. Conventional cricket shots, doesn't really go after anything extravagant, and that just shows you how, uh, you know, having just technique helps you in all formats of the game. But we saw a glimpse of Abdul Samad and what he can do, and it was amazing. Warner coming down the order also did something different to him. He was thinking out of sorts, and it was good to see him back and do what Warner does. Um, Again, super over, first super over of the day. Lockie Ferguson again stood up and did what he did. 2 wickets in the super over, and he pretty much killed the game for the Sunrisers. So, coming to the big game, that was Mumbai Indians and Punjab, and it was a do or die situation for Punjab, and Punjab did it brilliantly. Like chasing, I would have said that yes, they again made a mess of it. Any other team would have probably, you know, got these runs easily, but again, on playing a devil's advocate here, Punjab also had to deal with Jasprit Bumrah, who's back, who's back with a bang, and it was an off day for Trent Bolt. I wouldn't say off day because he came back really strong in the last over that he bowled, the 20th over of the conventional 20 over time. The inside edge, the Yorker, the inside edge that went to the boundary was something that made the difference. And sometimes you do have to give, I mean, luck does play its role. But Mumbai's innings, Rohit Field, Quinton de Kock had a mature inning, stayed 20 overs, and he batted brilliantly. He batted with it was a different kind of Quinton de Kock adapting to the situation. I think Krunal's role was immense as well. Krunal Pandya is definitely, I think, the more mature of the two brothers. Hardik Pandya sometimes showed needless aggression, like he has predetermined and predecided shots in his head, and then comes to just manufacture shots out of nothing, and they all don't always come through. So his batting is, there's a question mark on his batting, or at least the aggression that he shows with his bat when he first comes in. That's a question mark. There is something that needs to be asked there. Coulter amazing cameo in the end, and I think it was his innings that triggered Pollard. It was the other way around this time, and took Mumbai Indians to a score which we thought wasn't really achievable at one point of time. I would have been happy with 150, but reaching 176 was pretty decent on this target. Mayank and Punjab's inning. Mayank is batting. I think Mayank is probably batting at his best, and I think even the scores may not reflect it. Rahul is miles ahead of any other batsman right now, but I think it's Mayank's aggression and all cricketing shots. No slogs, no T20 unorthodox cricket. It's just pure cricketing genius of Mayank Rahul that is up at the top of the order, that is keeping this, the power play going. Then they have Gale coming in, who is, the universe boss, who comes in and does what he does. But I think it's Mayank and his brilliance that has helped them in both the second super over as well as at the top of the order. Again, one thing that I would say is Bumrah again in the super over was amazing, but a massive shout out to Mohammad Shami. He matched Bumrah in the super over when it was Punjab's turn to defend five. And so a few questions about captaincy that might come through are, why not Hardik or why not Pollard in the first super over when you just wanted to chase five? And it would have been the other way around if they would have lost a wicket and then they would have asked Rohit the same question, that why not Rohit and Quinton de Kock. So I would say that rather than the mistakes of a captain, let's just pat the backs of the bowlers and say it was immense bowling, and Indian cricket is benefiting from both Bumrah and Shami coming to forms at the right time. Australia, here we come. And in the end, I would say that one thing that Mumbai Indians definitely missed, or we could say that would have made the difference, was Lasith Malinga. With that, I would end this episode a little bit longer than the usual. But once again, guys, if you like this channel, please do give me a shout out. If you don't like it, let me know, leave it in the comments. I will be more than glad to change the content. It is back to the nets. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we will talk shortly. Thank you.